that will highlight the state of each position, breaking down the outgoing, returning, and incoming players, as well as the biggest question. So first up, we got who's leaving. We already know who's leaving. The major names: Deontay Lawson, Justin Jefferson, Nakai Hill, all them. It's really primarily about who's returning. Yeah, for real. Who's returning? Caden Jones, QB Reese, Duke Johnson, Luke Metz. Look out for Luke Metz as well. Abdul Sanders, etc. Alabama welcomes back 5 inside linebackers from last year's team, and all 5 played in at least 7 games during the 25 season. Jones and Reese are now in their 3rd years in the program and will look to make a move up the pecking order with the trio of seniors moving on. Reese played in all 15 games this past season, primarily playing on special teams. While Jones saw action in 10 games, he missed time due to injury. Jones finished 4th on the team with 53 snaps at inside linebacker per Pro Football Focus. Reese finished with 47 snaps. The other 3 returning linebackers were all true freshmen in 25. Metz, 15 games, Johnson, 9, and Sanders, 7. All played in 4 or more games, which means they will be sophomores this year. Metz led the freshman trio with 23 defensive snaps as a rookie, while Johnson played 12. All 3 should challenge the older players in their position room for more playing time this fall, but the most likely to make a real push is Metz. A lot of people leaning on and relying on Metz. I say pay attention to Metz, but also pay attention to Q Reese as well. Like I say, Q Reese definitely saw some flashes from him. The UL in Monroe game, he popped out, he stood out. The speed is there, etc. So yes, definitely pay attention. Look out for Metz, but look out for Q Reese too. A young player the coaching staff is high on, per sources. We are interested to see if any of the youngsters make a big jump in year 2. I guarantee all of them will. Yeah, period. Hands down, man down, no cap. Roll tide. Who's coming in? Caleb Woodson through the portal. Xavier Griffin, freshman. Zay Hall, boom. Alabama added 3 inside linebackers to its roster for the 26 season, 2 freshmen and 1 transfer. Woodson will be a senior this fall and brings experience with him to Tuscaloosa. And like I say, Woodson can help the younger guys out, maybe even teach them the game, all that. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. It will be a pure battle. But Bama very young. I repeat, very young at the linebacker positions. The Virginia Tech transfer played in 9 games in 25, but still finished second on the team in tackles, 58. In fact, he was second for the Hokies in tackles each of the last 2 seasons and started 20 total games. The Crimson Tide needed to add a proven player at inside linebacker with how much it lost this offseason, and Woodson fit that need on the 2026 roster. Alabama signed a pair of linebackers as part of its 26 recruiting class as well, with Griffin and Hall committing to the Tide. Pay attention, look out for Xavier Griffin. He's growing into his body. He's been at the early practices, all at the whole 9 yards. Don't be shocked if you see him heavy in the rotation, baby, for real. No cap. Hall could prove to be a good player down the road, but Griffin is a newcomer who could push for playing time this fall. All facts, no cap. The 5-star recruit was the second highest rated player in Alabama's most recent class, according to the Rivals industry rankings, and he brings versatility to the UA defense. We mentioned him in yesterday's breakdown of the outside linebackers, as Griffin could play on or off the ball, similar to a first round draft pick. Like he can really do it all. All he has to do is continue to grow into his body, continue to mature, learn the game. The game will continue to slow down for him. Gain weight, get on that nutrition program, that nutrition plan, get in that weight room, zone in, lock in on his goals, focus on strictly football, bro. I repeat, He needs to focus on football heavy, right? That's all he needs to worry about round yonder. Of course, his grades and shit, all that. But it's time for him to really lock in. But he could definitely be a freshman who's playing this year. Bitch, yeah, roll tide. X is a guy that's a flex guy, the board said in December. I mean, we really see him as like a Jihad Campbell linebacker. You see what Jihad Campbell is doing now. Can fly, can run. He's got some length, and he's going to put on some good weight and can be versatile enough to go play on the edge and not have to necessarily sub in when you want to put him in spots to go get after the quarterback. We can't just wait to have our defensive staff get their hands on him and let him go to work. Like he said, the defensive staff to get their hands on him. What's the most important part of the team of a team? Coaching. What is coaching about, bruh? Coaching, player development, coach player relationships. He can have all the talent in the world. If the coaching is piss poor, it doesn't matter. So it's their job, man. The Freddie Roaches, the Kane Walmacks, the DeBoers, the strength and conditioning coach is their job, bruh. Period. No cap. Hands down, man down. To make sure he is developed at the highest level, to make sure he reaches his maximum potential. And if he should be on the field this year, his freshman year, well, damn it, he should be on the motherfucking field, bro. You hear me? Period. No cap. Bottom line. You hear me? Heavy. Roll tide. Get him in order and have him ready to play. Yeah. Biggest pre-spring question: who steps into the starting roles? Both of Alabama's inside linebacker spots are up for grabs this spring and summer, and several players could be in the mix for the starting roles. An obvious choice for one of the vacancies is Woodson. Alabama needed to add a veteran presence at the inside linebacker position, and it targeted the Virginia Tech transfer shortly after the transfer portal window. The Tide the Tide has added a few power four linebackers who have made an immediate impact. Hill Green, Tresman Marshall, and Henry Toatua, and Woodson will look to continue that trend. That leaves one spot for seven other backers to compete for, but that group can likely be cut down to just a few. Jones and Reese are entering year three with the Tide, and after waiting their turns, they now have a prime opportunity for meaningful playing time. Like I say, look out for Q Reese. But they'll have to hold off some of the younger players that this coaching staff recruited. Again, there was some early buzz around Metz, who led the trio of freshmen in defensive snaps last year. Johnson and Sanders could challenge as well, but Metz would be our top contender of the sophomore trio. And then there's Griffin, the highest rated prospect in the position room. Being compared to a player like Campbell is noteworthy. And we've seen DeBoer and company aren't afraid to throw true freshmen into the fire. Could Alabama's highest ranked defensive signee pass all of the older players in the inside linebacker group and carve out a starting role in year one? Hey, he damn well could. It's not our first pick, but we're not ruling it out. On the defensive side of the ball, of the football, this will be the most intriguing position battle of the offseason and one of the most important for the Tide. And like I said, bro, this spring, a whole bunch of position battles coming up, period. Right? A whole bunch of position battles coming up, dog. You hear me? Heavy. Very interesting. Very interested to see these guys duke it out. May the best man win. Quarterback room, running back room, wide receiver room. Yeah. Like I've been saying, Ryan Williams better stay prepared. He better bring his A game. Yeah, I spoke about his engagement on the last live. Like I say, I wish him the best. I definitely wish him the best. But he better stay very aware. And guess what? Make sure see the right one. Huh? Yeah. Heavy. Know what I mean? Yeah, bro. But you got the wide receiver room, boom, tight ends room, O line, D line. Yeah. So every position it will be a per battle. Secondary, linebacker positions, all that. You got older veterans ready to play. You got younger freshmen, sophomores ready to play. May the best man win. Yeah, that's pretty much the last segment of the live right there. I'm finna get up out of here. Shout out to all my big dogs, my levy dogs in the chat. Got any questions, comments, or opinions, drop them down. I'll answer them. But if not, I'm finna get up out of here, man. Once again, roll tide, full of pride. Make sure y'all come lock in with me on Saturday for my next Bama Live. If you a Vikings fan, you know what it is. Come lock in with me tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night. Let's get right, Vikings. Skull Tide. And it is what it is, man. But recruiting at an all-time high. Spring football is almost upon us. A lot of work to be done. Them boys getting it in, that off-season program, hitting the field, working the weights, all that training, all that. It needs to all be on point. It's time to step it up to the next level. Take it up a notch. You hear me? Heavy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See what this is here. And we'll wait on that to the next segment, next live, all that. Let me see what that one is again. I'm gonna see. Yeah, we can really break all that down. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I want to break this one down. Go ahead and get it right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get into this last article, then get up out of here. I'm gonna do one more because it makes sense. So as far as juniors goes for Bama, year three players who have the chance to enter the NFL draft, very important seasons for all of them. But I want to break down the juniors, 10 juniors to know on the Alabama 2026 roster. Like I say, a very important season for all these guys here around yonder. Heavy. Yeah. Next up is the junior class, which features a ton of familiar faces. There are 22 juniors on this year's roster, half of which are returners that have become staples within the program, and half of which are incoming transfers. Here are 10 of them you need to make sure you know. Zabian Brown. We know what type of cornerback Zabian Brown is. He's been getting better every year. He's been making plays his whole career at Bama, even going back to his freshman year when he sealed the game versus Georgia. Right. So Zabian Brown, a name to look out for, a player to look out for. But y'all already know that. Brown has a legitimate case to be Alabama's best player coming into the 26th season. He's going into year three as a starting cornerback and has already cemented himself in the Crimson Tide lore with a number of huge plays in his career, including pick sixes against both Tennessee and Oklahoma last season. He's an all SEC candidate next year, maybe even All American, and will certainly get looks in the 2027 NFL draft. All facts, no cap. Ryan Williams, we all know Ryan Williams, wide receiver. The question is he really locked in? But I'm gonna leave that right there, round yonder. A very important season for Ryan Williams, let alone the piss poor season he had last year. It's time for him to put up or shut up. He's playing for a lot. Everything is on the line. His draft stock, all that. So I guess he's focused on his engagement, but he better make for damn sure he's focused on football, bro. I repeat, heavy football should be his major concern right now, homie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We need him to get back to that old Ryan Williams, period. We need him to catch the ball better, bro, period. We're going to see, though. We're going to see. Williams followed up his breakout freshman season in 24 with a less than stellar campaign last year, but he's back once again with another year under his belt and is now one of the veteran presences on offense. Having made his talent more than apparent throughout his career, he seems primed for a bounce back year where he could reestablish himself as one of the top wideouts in the SEC. But he better do it. Then he better get to it. Next up, Jan Zapier. We all know about Jan Zapier. I think he probably will have the most sacks in college football when it's all said and done next year when the smoke clears. Jan Zapier, outside linebacker. I'm expecting a big season from him. He a real dog, a real levy dog round yonder. All he did last year was put in that work against every team we played. You hear me? Period. No cap. Roll tide. Last year was Pierre's breakout year. Taking advantage of his opportunity after injuries ahead of him thrust him onto the top of the depth chart. He quickly affirmed his place, and there he quickly affirmed his place there and became the Tide's top rusher, top pass rusher last season, leading the team with 8 sacks. He now returns as one of the best players on the defense headed into 2026. Next up, we got Terrence Mean Green. He came fresh out of the portal, a player I'm really excited about. He will be on the D line, a real big dog, 6'5". Some say 6'6", 330 pounds. We talked about how Bama needs some big dogs up front, some real juggernauts up front, and he is definitely one. Yeah, but he's playing to raise his NFL stock. Period. Our first transfer on this list, Green comes into the program after spending his first 3 years at Oregon. His enormous 6'5", 330-pound frame makes him an ideal candidate to take over along the interior of the defensive line, a spot that lost a ton of production from last season, due both last season to both the transfer portal and graduation. It wouldn't be shocking at all to see Green trot out there with the starting defense in week one. Shit, I hope he does trot out there with the starting defense in week one. He should trot out there with the starting defense in week one. The hell going on around here? That's the whole reason. That's the whole reason they bring him in. Right? Right. Noah Rogers, another transfer portal guy, wide receiver. Boom. What will he do? Who will he replace? Can he even maybe start? Another player that gives you more experience in that receiver room. So let's get it, man. Period. Yeah. Another wide receiver that's poised to make an impact in this class. Rogers transferred in his offseason after spending his past 2 years at NC State. He's the most experienced addition Alabama made to its wide receiver room. And with the losses of 2 starters in Jeremy Bernard and Isaiah Horton, he's a likely candidate to take over the final vacant starting wideout spot next to Williams and Lloyd Sear Brooks. We got Red Morgan. We all know Red Morgan, a real levy dog, real feisty, scrappy dude. He playing for a lot this year too. Red Morgan, defensive back. Morgan's sophomore season in 25 had an inverse arc compared to his freshman season in 2024. Instead of gradually losing playing time, he gradually gained it until he was the starting Husky by the end of the season. Shout out to him, respect. He's earned himself a reputation as one of the hardest hitters on the defense and now has 2 years of real playing experience behind him as he returns to an extremely talented and experienced secondary in 2026. We look at Edric Hill, defensive lineman. Hill has slowly but surely seen his snaps increase over his 3 years in Tuscaloosa thus far. He played in every game last season and started 3 times. And with the aforementioned departure of experience from last season's defensive line, he has the chance to expand on that role once again. He's one of the longest tenured members of this unit and is likely to show with increased playing time once again. So pay attention to Edric Hill. Daniel Hill, running back, big dude, big body back there. We all know about Daniel Hill. He is returning. In the running back room, it will be a real battle. Got the freshman Xavier Crowell coming in. Can Daniel Hill earn a starting spot? You got AK Deer in the building. You got Kevin Riley coming back. So it's going to be a real battle, man, a real war for that running back one spot, period. By the end of the season, by the end of last season, Hill was the top reserve running back behind starter Jan Miller, even starting a few games as Miller dealt with injuries. He's the most experienced back on the 2026 roster and has the most returning production in a running back room that only added freshmen for next season, albeit talented ones. Hill is an easy pick to be leading the stable again at the start of the year. Well, Hill must improve too, right? We seen him run too slow at times, hit the hole too slow at times, sometimes maybe too fast. Seeing him hit the wrong holes as well. So Daniel Hill will have to improve. The pressure is on him. Them dogs is on his back. Period. A lot of competition in that room. And I'm love it. And I love it. I'm here for it, baby. Roll Tide. Yeah. You hear me? Heavy. Rayson Delgatti, offensive line. Alabama's offensive line. Now, you know, before I get into the article, man, Rayson Delgatti, very excited about him too. Another guy that came out the portal, a center, has a chance to start. You put the film on, you can watch it all day. He's a real dog, high motor, athletic, talented, strong, feisty, scrappy, all that. Like I say, put the film on and just watch. Alabama's offensive line went through a complete overhaul this offseason with 11 exits and 11 newcomers to the unit. Only one starter from last season is returning in Michael Carroll, leaving 4 spots up for grabs. A likely candidate to assume of those spots is Delgatti, the Cal Poly transfer who started for the past 2 full seasons. He can play any spot on the interior, including center. So he's a real versatile guy. Gives you a lot of options up front. That's definitely a plus, a major benefit for Bama to have. Austin Mack, quarterback. We know about the quarterback position that is about to ensue during spring ball. I repeat, bro, it's going to be a real motherfucking battle for that QB1 spot, as it should be, period. May the best man win. But Austin Mack, he followed the board to Bama, rocked and rolled, locked in with K-Dog. We saw him play a few times last year. Like I said, bro, Austin Mack, sometimes the offense looks smoother being ran by Mack. And a lot of people, I repeat, a lot of people just giving Keelan Russell the job. No, hell to the no. I guarantee it's going to come down to the damn wire. I guarantee them boys really going to bang it out for that QB1 spot. Austin Mack, very talented. Keelan Russell, very talented, bro. May the best man win. Who will put the real work in this off season and come back even better. But it's going to be a real dog fight. Of course, Denius, who going to have the last bye? You hear me? Heavy. Austin Mack or Keelan Russell. But Austin Mack, a lot of talent, arm power, crazy. A big dude, 6'6", but he's also mobile. He can run around, right? Heavy, bro. He can run the ball, rush the ball, maneuver in the pocket, get out of the pocket if need be. He can run and throw. So yeah, a quarterback of that size who has wheels on him, who can run, and he can also sit in the pocket and pick you apart potentially. Oh yeah, I'm very excited about him and Keelan Russell as well. I'm excited about the whole battle in general, homie. For real, no cap. All facts, no cap. Roll Tide. If you haven't heard, Alabama has a quarterback competition this offseason. One of those candidates is Mac, who's entering his third season at Alabama and his fourth year under head coach Kalen DeBoer after starting his career at Washington. The last we saw of Mac, he saw extended time at the end of the Rose Bowl, where the 6'6" signal caller completed 11 of 16 passes for 103 yards. Then we go down to the boom honorable mentions. Xavier Mincy, more experience coming in. Javin James, he's out of Mississippi State, I believe, through the portal. Old lineman, watch out for his name as well. He could definitely make a big impact. Roll Tide full of pride. Caden Jones, Carmelo O'Neal out of the portal as well, 6'4", 200 plus pounds. Connor Talty, really, his spot will be taken.